Okay. Alright. I've mentioned that I was gonna do a Miitopia episode today and premiere it on this, on the same day. So here I am. Here I am. Oh, hold on. I think I have to switch. Sorry, I think I'm on my main file. I have to switch it. No, I didn't want to close the whole emulator. Yeah, I'm still figuring out how to. Close the game without closing the emulator. Hold on. Oh, stop emulation. There we go. Oh, okay. I could have sworn I was on my main file. Oh, okay, well. Alright then. Well, that was a waste. But at least I figured out how to close the game without having to close the entire emulator. I got the mail, and usually that's when you get, like, to, like, further into the game. So my first instinct was to think, oh god, I still need to switch. But no, I was in the right place. Alright. No one wants to buy stuff. Of course, that's what happens when you have a lot of money, and then when you don't have money, that's when they want to buy shit. It should be the other way around. We're just gonna feed them random stuff for now. We don't. We have new people, new me's. We don't know what they like. All right. All right. Sorry. Yeah, we haven't played as Eva yet, because if you remember. Oh, fuck. I want. I don't. All right. Let's just get quiz bitch out of the way. See if we can do that, because I want to see if I can save the treasure chest for when you get here, Ethan. That way, there's at least a chance it can go to you, because you're going to be the most important person for it. Because I'm a main teammate, but I don't have my permanent job yet. And then Eva and Manton are not main teammates, so yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You're going to be the only main teammate that currently has his permanent job. Alright. Oh, yeah, the risky shortcut in the safe route. Yeah, you do have to progress a little bit into next door. Otherwise, those griffins will kick your ass. The Peter and Lois Griffin, as you called them. Alright, I'm the glitch bitch. Alright, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. Unfortunately, I could not get my ID today because, I mentioned this throughout a couple of my some of my previously released LP, Let's Play episodes that I was gonna. Sorry, my nose is running. Yeah, I have more power, more attack power right now than Manton and Eva, so I think using butt jab will be the best way to go on me. But yeah, because me and my dad both had to go because not only do I need an ID, I still haven't gotten my first one, and I just turned 20 fucking 7. But not only that, but you know, my dad has to get his driver's license renewed, but he couldn't even do that either. Now, some of you may be familiar with the DMV or the DPS. For over here, it's called the DPS. Because my dad said, in Texas calls it the DPS, but, other places in the United States calls it the DMV. Plus, I think, if you're just getting a regular ID, that can fall under DPS, because DMV is when it comes, that stands for Department of Motor Vehicles, so that's more for actual driver's license. And then the DPS stands for Department of Public Safety. And that can be regular IDs as well. But yeah, we brought some stuff. My dad brought my birth certificate, and then he brought let's get rid of the cumulus first so it doesn't heal. Oh, okay, awesome. Pressure point. Okay, luckily the blue scorpions don't have that insta-kill attack. It's only the purple scorpions and the metal scorpions. But yeah, he brought my birth certificate, and I think he brought my dentist, a paper from my dentist appointment last week that he had the receptionist print out. That way he had it as proof that I lived in this particular address. I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I mean. Proof of my residence. Oh crap. Out of MP. Wait, does Naughty Pitchfork or Butt Jab do more? Okay, so I think Naughty Pitchfork actually does a little bit more. Alright. Good to know. Yeah, we're gonna need it for the moles too, huh? Yeah. Because a lot of the times, moles can dodge physical attacks. So, it's better to use magic attacks for them. But yeah, and then I think my dad brought... I don't know what my dad brought for him. For his not ID, but driver's license renewal. But it wasn't enough, because he couldn't get his license either. It's a pain in the ass dealing with the DMV or the DPS. He says a lot of the times people walk out without being able to get an ID or a driver's license because they're just so... I guess, like, what's the word? Finicky about what they accept, like what documents of or proof of identity that will they accept. You know, they're really finicky about that. And even if you do bring like a couple of stuff, like it's not always enough. So, oh my god, screw you, Cumulus. That's why I hate the clouds, and I'm trying to get them all the way first so they don't heal. Alright, good job. Okay, I shouldn't have. It took it out. Okay. But yeah. And then, you know, they suggested that I get like a social security card or whatever. But the problem, like, I think you have to have an ID to get that. Like, you see the issue here? Like, you know, you have to have proof of identity, you know, to get a driver's license, which could include a social security card, but you have to have an ID to get a social security card too. Like, I mean, it's like a catch. Even my dad said it himself. It's like a catch-22 situation. Hold on, let me put one of them in the stables so if I get more Jolly Jaunt tickets, I can just sell them. But yeah, it's like a catch-22 situation. Like, oh, you have to have a job to gain experience, but you have to have experience to get, like, jobs. And it's like, well, where on earth are you supposed to start then? Like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Like, what are you supposed to do first? Like, it's one of those situations. Ugh. Screw you. Oh my god! Give me anything but the gray area. Especially, I would love, like, some cheesecake or some vestments, though. Okay, we'll give it to Eva so she can just sell it and give us some money. That's what I like to do. I try to have someone in the stable, and I try to, like, remember who's in the... which me is in the stable. Then if I get the Jolly Jaunt tickets, I can just give it to them, and it gives me some extra money. So yeah, that's just a little pro tip I have as an easy way for, like, you know, getting some money. Another pro tip I have is, like, is to sell any extra equipment you get. Like, if, like, your Miis already have it, just sell the extras, and that can give you extra money too. So yep, just some advice on making some quick money, especially when in the beginning of the game where you can't really rely on rich snurps. You haven't encountered them yet, because we won't encounter our first rich snurp until the skyscraper, I believe. So it'll still be a while before we can defeat our first one. And even then, we can't actually go out and grind for them until we unlock that one area in Galados Isle. Okay, thank you for not fucking up. No! Sometimes I click that. I accidentally click the Windows key and it accidentally brings this thing up. And it's like, fuck off. Fuck off. Alright, let's get Quiz Biatch out of the way. No. Please fuck off. Please fuck off. Oh, okay, good. Flavito. Now, that's a character I actually... One of the travelers, I think they're called, I actually like. Because he actually helps out a lot, you know. He gets us situated with good grub to help our grub stats. Okay. No, not ZZZ. I'm just gonna give her a cringy one. Yeah, you could definitely say that, Manton. You can definitely say that. But yeah, the DMV/DPS, ugh. I'm actually, like, for me, I kind of saw it coming. Like, you know, I was actually worried this whole time because I knew there was, like, a small chance I would actually be able to get my ID. And even if I did get my ID, I mean, you know what, well, even if I did, like, you know, if they did, like, accept my documentation that my dad had, like, I would still have to wait to get my ID, for me to, like, officially get my ID, because I think it, like, comes in the mail, like, so yeah, even if it did work out, I still wouldn't have it yet, because I think it takes time to, like, actually make it, you know, make the IDs, so, yeah, but, you know, I saw mine coming, you know, I kind of knew that there was like a pretty big possibility that they wouldn't be able to give it to me. But my dad, on the other hand, like, you know, he's who I'm surprised about that, because number one, he just needed to get a driver's license, not a regular ID. And number two, you know, he was getting his license renewed, you know. He was just getting it renewed, you know. It's not like it was his first time, you know, getting a license, you know. He was just getting it renewed, so I don't understand why it was such a problem for him as well, you know what I mean? It kind of makes me dreadful, because they do expire, you know. Unfortunately, you do have to keep going back and dealing with it. I wish, like, it was just a one-time thing, you know, going and getting an ID or a driver's license. But I think it's because, you know, people age and stuff, and they want like an updated, like, picture and stuff. And sometimes the IDs or driver's license cards wear out, so I think that's why we have to get them renewed, like, every 5 to 6 years or whatever. It's just a nightmare. But yeah, hopefully, but yeah, okay, but the good news is my my dad dug through some stuff because, they actually set us up another appointment. I don't know the date yet, but it's approximately 2 weeks from now, and it's gonna be a morning appointment. So Green Ethan, I have to be up really early. I I don't know. I don't like I said, I don't know the date yet, but hopefully I'll figure it out in advance, and I'll let you know because the appointment is at like 8:40, so I have to get up at like a little bit before 8, so I can so me and my dad can get ready, and then we can get there in time. That's even earlier. I rarely have to get up that early, even on days I have like appointments. I don't quite have to wake up that early. And even like my dentist appointment last week, Nana didn't even bother with me since, I was because, she was dealing with shingles, and, my dad was at home because, he's off of work right now while his hip recovers, which I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that too, because I kind of want to go over the whole week in general. I just wanted to talk about the whole DPS situation first. But yeah, so I actually waited to take my shower because she usually makes me take one like a couple hours before my appointment. It's annoying. I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that this time. Well, I technically did because I was worrying about it, but it didn't like actually happen, So, and my dad was cool with me waiting a little bit to take my shower, so that's good. But yeah, the point is, yeah, I do have to be up early, and I think like I said, I don't know the specific date yet, but I think it's the week after next, maybe the week after that. I'm still not 100% sure, but they said approximately 2 weeks from now, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, the good news is, my dad was able to dig through some stuff. He found my school ID, and then I think he found like a school record thing, and then he said he was going to talk to my mom about bringing, because we kind of talked about it with the person that we were, when one of the DPS people, they were telling us like different stuff we could bring. So hopefully my mom can get my shot records together, or or something with my footprints, because that's another thing they mentioned. You can bring a paper with, how sometimes when a baby is born, they put their footprints on a paper, on a piece of paper, that could be something else they could accept. But yeah, the good news is, like I said, my dad did dig through and found some more stuff that he could bring to them. He's, he found my school ID. He found my COVID vaccine record. Because remember when COVID was a thing, everyone was getting vaccinated in 2021. He found that COVID vaccine card that I had, and then he also, and I don't know what it was called, but I think it was like a skull paper that he found. That he also found. So we're gonna just try to go bring a bunch of stuff, and hopefully it should be enough. And he's gonna. I don't know if he already did or if he's still planning on it, but he also said he was gonna try talking to my mom about helping, about getting my shot records and some other stuff together. Because I don't have any bills, because I still live with my dad, so. And she even gave, the lady even gave him a list of like different stuff that we can bring them to show proof of identity, but and he looked through it, but there wasn't anything. But hopefully, oh my god, ugh. Thank you, Manton, for not screwing up. But yeah, hopefully they can also they can also like take some other stuff, or not take, but accept some other stuff people have. Especially when because a lot of people are kind of limited on what they can bring, like if they're still living with like family, or if they're special needs like me. So I'm hoping my mom can come through for us, and she can get some more stuff together, and then like she can send it over to us. Because that it wouldn't be the first time, because we needed to show an ID to get vaccinated, but I obviously didn't have an ID at the time, so we tried to, so what we did was like we tried to do my school ID, but my mom my mom had to send it to us first, so. But it took her a while, unfortunately. I won't say blackmail, that's a strong word, but I think my dad had to like give her an ultimatum, or to like bribe her. To send. My school ID, because that's why that's the reason I have it with me to begin with, is because I needed some sort of identification proof to get my vaccine. So, but and luckily they did accept my ID, because come on, like it was a freaking pandemic, like let people get vaccinated, like not everyone is gonna have an ID, because the DMV is or DPS can be a pain to deal with. So yeah, I'm glad back when I got my vaccines back in 2021, they accepted my school ID, because I don't have a state ID yet. But yeah, hopefully my mom can come through, and my dad can even like really talk to her and be like, look, I'll pay for. You don't even have to pay to mail it. I'll do it. He was like, he's trying to like get, do what he can to get her to do it. So hopefully she can like get my shot records and like other good stuff together before it's time for our next appointment, and hopefully this time I can get my ID, or they can like accept the stuff, and then I can and then I'll just have to wait until it comes in the mail, and then when it does finally come in the mail, then I am definitely gonna be a happy camper. It's gonna be nice to finally have the damn thing, because oh my god, I'm envious of Purple Ethan, because he said he was able to just get his with no problem in 2018, but they make it harder and harder, because my dad told me it was because of like scammers and cheaters. So they make it harder and harder to get IDs, so people don't just easily scam the DMV or DPS to get fake ones. That's the shitty thing about scammers and cheaters. They ruin things for everyone else. They ruin things for us genuine folks that are just trying to live an honest life. Ooh, very good. But yeah, that's basically how today went down. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated, but I'm still a little bit hopeful. I just hope we don't have to go through guardianship to get this done, because we tried doing guardianship and it just didn't work out. The first lawyer we were gonna try retired, then the other lawyer ended up like pretty much forgetting about it, because I mentioned this before, and my dad told me the same thing, but like a lot of these lawyers have like actual cases, and that they have to prioritize over the whole guardianship stuff, so it's just a pain in the ass to deal with. So I'm hoping we just need to get some more stuff together, documentations or whatever, proof of identity, and this time hopefully if my mom can come through for my dad and I, we can bring that stuff over to the DPS, and as well as like the other stuff he dug up today, and I should finally be able to get my ID. I'll just have to wait for it to come in the mail, but they'll at least be like, okay, cool, let's take your picture and your fingerprint or your signature or whatever they need, and it'll come in the mail. That is going to be a good day, folks, let me tell ya. So yeah, I'm frustrated, but I'm still a tad hopeful, because like I said, we're going to try to get some more stuff together, and we have another appointment coming up, so I'm not going to stress on it too bad, at least not yet. Because we are actually planning to get my social security, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but my dad said that I have to have my ID first. And like I said, they said we could use that as something that we could, bring over for proof of identity, but I mean, if we need an ID to get that, it's like I said, it's a catch-22. like I said, the whole, oh, it's basically, you know, saying, like, think of someone at, like, a job interview, you know, oh, I'm sorry, but you don't have enough experience to get this job. Well, how are you supposed to get experience if they don't let you work, you know? That's exactly what it's like. Like, what, what, what comes first then? You know what I mean? So, yeah, hopefully we can get this done in these next in 2 weeks during our upcoming appointments. Because my dad also used a government not government but a veteran like ID. He's like I don't know if he brought it over, but like I think he like suggested it, but they said they don't even accept that. It was like a federal law, like what? Oh my god. Okay, thank you for not screwing up this time. Green Ethan, your me is being stubborn as hell. I don't know when he's finally gonna come in. I was gonna try to save the treasure chest for when you came in, but I guess they're not gonna let me. I guess I have to get the treasure chest first. And it, like, why? Let me get Green Ethan first so he has a chance. You know what I mean? Oh boy. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do another. I'll come back. Now I don't know if it's gonna be my next episode. I might do another episode in between this one and that one, but I definitely do plan to do another episode of Miitopia. The on the on the day I have that upcoming DM, like that other DMV appointment or DPS appointment, because I want to talk about how that one went as well. So, yep, I'll have another. I'll talk about how that one went as well, and hopefully this time you'll hear me being like, yes, they're gonna give me my ID finally, yes. So, we'll see how that goes. Okay, interesting. But yeah, if I have like a rant idea or just something worth going over with you guys, I'll do another episode between this one and that one, but the one that will happen on the same day of the next DPS appointment we have coming up, that one's I'm definitely gonna do that again if I can. That way I can at least update you guys on how that one went. Oh, it's just the same. Well, let's sell it then. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier in this episode, if you already have like a specific piece of equipment, you can just sell it for extra money. So, yep. Okay, good. Magic upgrade. Alright. Come on, Green Ethan. Come on, Green Ethan. We believe in ya. Oh, okay, good. We don't have to go to the treasure chest yet, because good, because I want to at least get Green Ethan here first. But yeah. I'll keep you guys posted on how the other DPS appointment goes when I have it in these next 2 weeks or so. But now I'll talk about I'll talk about Monday, and I'll talk about like yesterday too. Now, as a lot of my closer viewers know, my birthday was this past Monday, June 9th. And that was a pretty good day. We went to Market Street for my gift cards and for the cake, which the cake was also really good. And then we went to Five Guys to get food for our lunch, because I have Five Guys every year for my birthday. It's basically a tradition at this point. When I was living in Orange Grove, it was Dairy Queen, but now it's Five Guys because it's expensive, but we hardly ever get to have it, so I like to use my birthday to take advantage because of being able to have it. So, yep, we went to the store for my gift money, gift card, the cake, and then we went to Five Guys. Then we went over to my grandma's and we ate lunch. Then we had cake and ice cream. Then I opened my presents. Then I swam for a little bit. The only, not, I don't know the word, but the only kind of thing that made me feel a bit, I can't find the word, but the only sour note, I guess that's a good, oh my god, Ethan, will you please get here already? Why does it take forever for the last Next Door and Realm of the Fae teammates to arrive at the inn? But yeah, I think I mentioned this. In fact, I don't even know if it's even uploaded yet, but it might even be in an unreleased video still, but oh boy. I'm trying to save the treasure chests. Oh boy. Come on, come on, come on. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted. But my Green Ethan, like I've mentioned this time and time again, you in these Miitopia videos, you know about the whole dumpster fire of a situation, but my grandparents are planning on going on like a 2-week or even longer trip up north. And we all know what that means. I mean, I'll do a more in-depth rant on it when it happens, but in fact, I'll do a Miitopia episode during that time frame. Finally! Oh my god. It took you long enough. Okay, you're gonna be a laid-back scientist, as always. Jesus Christ, that took forever. Yes, you are. But yeah, I think they're gonna go to. I think they said like South Dakota, cause I think they said they want to see Mount Rushmore. And yeah, and if it wasn't for the damn dog, you know, I wouldn't give a shit. As long as they're not like forcing us to go with them, then you know, I would give less of a shit how often they traveled or how long their road trips were, you know. It's just the dog I have a problem with cuz you know, I'm uncomfortable around dogs. It's probably a sensory thing. Plus, he can be extremely hyper despite being like an elderly dog. And yeah, a part of it is like sensory issues. Plus, sometimes he's barking when you're trying to like sleep or relax, and you know that's a pain in the ass to deal with. And a lot of times he gets in your way when you're trying to do shit. So it's hard to really do anything when the damn roach, as I like to call him, is over here. Ay, ay, ay. Why is it always the gray? And yeah, from what my dad has told me, like, Zach was like, you know, the dog's name was like abandoned as a puppy. Oh my god! And I get it. They wanted to get him out of that situation, you know. I understand that. I comprehend that. But and I've like, I've talked about this before, but I love my grandparents, but I just think it was a bit irresponsible of them to take in a dog with separation anxiety, with how often they traveled, because they love to travel, and in itself, it's good that they, like you said, Green Ethan, it's good that they have something that they like to do together, but it's just irresponsible that they decided to take in a dog with separation anxiety, knowing damn well that there was going to be like a good portion of a lot of the time, they weren't even going to be available for him, because like I said, the dog's old. The dog is like 14, 15, 16 years old, but for the longest time, my grandparents absolutely they've always loved to travel. I remember even back in the day, we've had to go on vacations with them. And they would post on Facebook about their vacations. And I and I would be fine with that under two conditions. Number one, I wouldn't have to go. I'm not forced to go. I mean, well, if it's just a casual vacation, a casual family vacation a couple hours away, then I'm fine with it. But if it's a long, major vacation, yeah, count me the fuck out. But yeah, and number two, not dumping their dog over here all the time, because because I may love my grandparents, but and I'm not gonna I won't say it to them, but if I'm just talking to you guys, then I'm gonna speak my mind. It was a bit irresponsible of them to take in a dog that has separation anxiety when they when they knew they weren't always going to be available for the damn thing. Like I said, they wanted to. I understand they wanted to get him out of that situation, but I feel like there could have been a better way to go about it. You know what I mean? They could have taken him to a shelter, or they could have put him up for adoption. They could have taken him to someone who actually wants a dog and who really wanted a dog and could actually be there for it. Because it's not because this was something that happened on a whim. The dog just showed up at their porch one day. It's not like they planned ahead, and decided, okay, we can adopt a dog. We have the means to do so. It was something that kind of just happened on a whim, on a whim. Something that they suddenly felt obligated to do. And I get it. People want to be selfless. People want to do the right thing. Everyone in their right mind wants to do that. But the way I see it, it's more selfless to actually find a dog, for example, it's more selfless to actually find a compatible owner for the dog than to just blindly like take him in yourself. If you're someone who has to be gone a lot or likes to travel a lot, then you don't need to be you know, owning a dog that has separation anxiety, you know. There are people out there who really want a dog and that could actually be available for it, you know. I think my grandparents should have helped the dog go to a home that's like more compatible for, and that would be more available, you know what I mean? It would have been a win-win situation. I'm probably gonna end this off pretty soon because I kind of want to do another animal parade episode. But first, I'll talk about Wednesday. But yeah, I don't want to get. I don't want to like go too far off on a tangent with the rant, but I'll do it like when the dreaded vacation day gets here. But yeah, then Wednesday was my dad's. So yeah, well I'll go back to that topic in a little bit later on. But then there was Wednesday. Wednesday was interesting. It was my dad's birthday, but because yeah, his birthday's 2 days after mine. Mine's is June 9th. His is June 11th. So he had like an orthopedic appointment because he went back in April, like a little bit before his hip surgery. Then he had like a 6-week follow-up appointment. And the waiting room is like weird. Like they're like it's like a big waiting room, and then there's like TVs on either side, and it plays. And these TVs, they have some of the most bizarre stuff going on these TVs. Like there was like a freaking like, I think it's like a termite commercial. Like I think it's called Termex or something. All right, hold on. We'll do park. Me and Green Ethan are about to develop some quick friendship. But yeah, there was this weird ass commercial about Termex, which I think it's a spray that kills termites. I'm not 100% sure. And then like there was this father and like a daughter, and like I think the daughter was like telling him that, like, I think she was like reading something, and she was like telling him, "Oh, did you know that termites can eat a pound of wood a day?" Oh my god, it was just so stupid and funny at the same time. And then like there was this echo, pound of wood a day, pound of wood a day, and then his freaking daughter turned into a termite, and then she was like, "What's wrong?" Like she was such a sweetheart, but like she turned into a freaking termite. Like what? Like what? Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm gonna play it for you guys, cause you guys need to see this shit. I'll play it after I do this episode. Because it's hard for me to explain stuff, you know? It's that I'm a shower, not a teller. You know what I mean? It's easier to just show you guys because it's hard to explain stuff. But yeah, like, she turned into a termite, but she pretty much turned into a termite, and then she turned in, like, but then she was like a normal girl again. Like, you'll see it. I'll show it here in a little bit after I'm done going over yesterday. But then after his appointment, we went to some restaurants, because we went to a few restaurants, you know. My dad had Taco Villa, my brother had Chick-fil-A, and I had Texas Burger, so we brought that home, and so we ate lunch, and then my dad, you know, and then later on, like during the evening, we had some ice cream cake that he got at Baskin Robbins. It was like a chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream. It was pretty good. Alright. But yeah. Oh, okay, good. You see, children, that's why I like to wait. That way I can give it to the main teammate with the current permanent job. Because even though I'm a scientist right now, you know, I'm going to be a princess when we get to Realm of the Fae. So, yep. Oh wow, we didn't even have any monsters. We'll keep this going for a little bit longer. Yeah, I was gonna do an Animal Parade episode before I went to my DPS appointment, but I slept in too long, so I ended up not being able to do it. So I'll do it now before Ethan premieres his Miitopia episode. But by the time this is recorded, it'll be after. But you know what I mean. I mean, by the time that, you know, this is premiered, I will have already seen it. But you know, just, you know, as of recording this. All right. Let's go up here. But yeah, not really much to say about Wednesday. But yeah, but his appointment went well. Like, he's taken a little bit longer to recover because they said it had to do with, like, his knee not having, like, much strength in it. So, and, you know, apparently that's not uncommon. Like, it happens to quite a few people, so. Because he thought that they would actually have to go in again and recorrect the surgery, but luckily, like, you know, everything checked out well. He just has to wait a little bit longer to make a full recovery. Because it can take, like, months for, like, that hip replacement surgery to fully recover, so. Yeah. And I think he won't. And I don't think he has to go back to work until, like, August now. That way, it gives him more time to, like, recover. Plus, we can do, like, these DMV appointments or DPS appointments and just, like, other stuff without having to worry about work getting in the way. So, I'm glad that his time off was extended. Nope, fuck off. Moles dodge physical attacks. We're not going down that route. Okay, good, smart. Plus, you know, she she's in a good mood, and they do take a lot less damage when like they're in a good mood. So. But yeah, after we do this battle, I need to show that stupid commercial because it's stupid, but I mean that in the best way possible. Like, I mean that in a lighthearted way, not in like an insult. Okay, good. I thought Ethan didn't have any experience yet, so I thought he could only do basic shit. Alright. Oh wow, he's already at... Huh. I could have sworn this was his first battle. Huh. Oh boy, more moles. Let's take care of the evil mole first, because I could imagine probably has more HP and more attack power. Ooh, good. Oh, seriously, Green Ethan? Lazy ass. Sorry, I'm still thinking about that commercial. The one that played at that orthopedic appointment. I actually love going there just to sit in the waiting room because of how... just the weird shit that plays on those TVs. You know, it's very hard to find a commercial that I actually get amused by. You know, I usually just find them frustrating as all fuck to deal with, but, you know, once in a great while, there are some commercials that... I'm trying to find, like, what can I do? I'm trying to find something. I guess we'll just have an HP banana. Because I don't want to bother with the freaking physical attacks. Because they'll just dodge them. But she had like full HP and full MP, so I was just... I hate moles. I hate how they can dodge physical attacks. Like, come on. Okay, thank you. There we go. That's actually the food that the moles drop, I believe. The Strata Sundae. Blah 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 blah. Ooh, nice. Alright. I'm gonna end off the play session for now, and I will show that stupid commercial before I end off the episode. Because I found it on YouTube. Oh, what? Oh, I thought she turned into a norm. I thought she was a normal girl again, but I guess this was like a shorter version of the other commercial. But you see this shit? Like what? She's like, if she weren't okay, well she's still like a human, but she's like, what like look, what's going on over here? Like what is this? What's wrong? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that commercial is weird. I could have sworn when I saw it at my dad's orthopedic appointment, the girl was like a normal, a human again, but I guess that was like a shorter version. I don't know, but yeah, that I'm gonna end it off right here, guys, and do some animal parade. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.